Miley Cyrus just opened up about breaking her sobriety during the pandemic. Here's everything we know. I'm Perez Hilton.
I'm Gabby Conti, and this is Live with Perez Hilton. Miley Cyrus was just on Apple's new Music Daily with Zane Lowe, where she admitted that she broke her sobriety and would never want to pretend that she's sober when actually she, quote, fell off. As she said, quote, I fell off and realized that now I am back in sobriety 2 weeks sober. Back in June, the singer and actress announced that she was 6 months sober. Now she's dealing with breaking her sobriety, as she told Zane Lowe, quote, one of the things I used to say is, don't get furious, get curious. So don't be mad at yourself, but ask yourself what happened. Miley said that she had issues with moderation in the past, but believes everyone should do what is best for them. Miley explained that for her personally, alcohol leads to impulsive behavior, as she said, quote, I don't have a problem with drinking. I have a problem with the decisions I make once I go past the level of even into just wanting to wake up 100% of the time. She reflected on how the last 3 years of her life has been, quote, a cocktail of chaos, but when she hit 27, she started thinking about sobriety because we've lost so many icons at 27. Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, and Amy Winehouse are a few of the celebrities who all died at that age. It's a very pivotal time. You just have to get into that next chapter or this is it for you, end quote, as she said.
I'm gonna take my glasses off for a second, and I want you to look into my eyes. When you're done watching us here, you must watch this interview with Miley Cyrus. It's well over an hour long, but it is one of the best things I have ever seen.
Wow.
I left first of all, Zane Lowe is masterful. He is one of the best interviewers there is because he's not always looking down at his notes. He is listening intently. He is so in the moment and so prepared, and he just guides the conversation. He doesn't dominate. He lets the musicians talk, and he's so wise. He's like Oprah, but for music, or he's like the Dalai Lama or Buddha or so. I don't know, he's just so wise, and so was Miley. I was so impressed with everything she said because on one of our recent episodes of this, we talked about how most people are not honest, at least not 100%.
Right.
Miley Cyrus in this interview is 101% honest. She's unafraid to say something that might make her look bad when talking about her relationships or talking about the kind of men that she's gravitated towards. She says she likes dating good guys that she could take from.
Ooh.
Like I'm like, wow, that's so honest.
That is, yeah.
But I just loved that. I loved how self-reflective she was. I loved just being inspired by her. Like she challenged me to be better, not just with talking about this, which I don't really struggle with alcohol or drugs or anything, but I do struggle with addiction in different ways. And one of the things that she said in that interview that blew my mind was I probably could do it, but even the thought of it scares me.
What?
She regularly will just turn off her phone and every device in her house for hours.
Oh my goodness.
And just sit in silence for hours.
What?
And that oftentimes when she does that, she just starts to cry because things will come up, and that forces you to be really present and to deal with things that you keep pushing down. And understandably, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and just life is busy, you guys have to watch this.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds really inspiring. I can't imagine doing that because I feel like we have our devices on 24/7, especially now, because it makes you feel like it's a lifeline. It's
And you're
keeping
connected,
you,
yeah.
not lonely. And sometimes when we're really lonely and we sit with ourselves, things come up for sure because there's no distraction. I think that's a great thing to try out. I probably will cry too if I do that.
I cannot wait for the new Miley Cyrus album. She released another new song from it, one with Dua Lipa called Prisoner, which I love. And actually, I had this thought last night, which I will pose to the Hollywire viewers. I love talking about music. Maybe not everybody does, but I'm just so passionate about it. I don't just enjoy listening to it or going to see shows. I love pontificating and guessing and figuring things out and giving my opinion. So I had this hypothetical question, which you could apply to anybody, but I'm gonna apply it to Miley Cyrus. The question is, if you can go back in time, and I'll have you answer.
Okay.
And if you could have your favorite musician change something about their career, what would it be? I was thinking about Miley Cyrus specifically when that thought came to me, because let's go back to 2013. It was Miley Cyrus's Bangers era.
Yep.
It's 7 years ago now. And that was peak Miley Cyrus. That was even way more successful than Party in the USA or even Hannah Montana, really.
Yeah.
She was on top of the world in 2013. And what did she do after Bangers? Self-sabotage. She released this awful psychedelic, druggy, trippy album called Miley and the Dead Pets.
I didn't even remember that because I kind of blocked it out.
It was so bad.
Yeah, well, because what she had done with Bangers is she basically destroyed her Disney image, which I think was helpful to her because people like to see that side, and she should have stayed on theme instead of pivoting to another very...
Or just make something better.
Yeah.
You know, Madonna, when she was at her peak, never released a not great album. Whose career would you change and how?
Oh, well, we are out of time, but...
quickly!
I would change John Mayer's career, and I would tell him to not have that interview with Playboy and say the things that he said about Jessica Simpson, and also what Jessica revealed that he had done to her in that relationship breaks my heart. Guys, what do you think about Miley Cyrus and this interview and her breaking her sobriety? Let us know. I'm Gabby Conti.
I'm Perez Hilton.
And follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.